Jesus Christ had dreads, so shake them. I ain't got none, but I'm planning on growing some. All right. So we're getting in. So if you're coming in, welcome, welcome, welcome. Give us a like, give us a follow. Help us get more people in here. We're going to watch a long one today. All right. This is one that you guys are not going to miss. It's going to be the Donald Trump, Joe Rogan interview. Now, I've said on this stream numerous times, I don't really know what Donald Trump plans on doing with this country. I don't know what he's trying to accomplish because he's not very clear, right? His rhetoric has always been very divisive and violent and all that stuff. So it's not necessarily clicking with me what it is he plans on accomplishing. Now, in this Rogan interview, what do I expect? I expect him to kind of shoot the breeze, right? I think that he's going to try and humanize himself with American politics and American citizens and everything like that, because what I've seen in other interviews, whether it was Theo Vaughn, Nelk Boys, he's mostly just trying to relate, right? But I want him to get into the policy and the how, right? Because we've seen, Kamala give her policies. I actually just left an influencer event where we were discussing, it was 4 black women talking about how Kamala is impacting change, the combating misinformation, and had a bunch of influencers there and all that good stuff. So we're going to dive in to see what Trump's is. Now, my main thing is I want to be objective, right? I know I don't like Trump. I want that to be very clear. I don't like the man at all, right? But it is important that we understand the how so we can combat his rhetoric. We've seen obviously the things that happened in New York with the Madison Square Garden thing, how that was terrible, right? It's damn near a Nazi rally, like they said. But I think our point of this is to see how he's going to do the things he's doing. So we're going to jump right into this. This is the Joe Rogan Experience featuring Donald Trump. Marcel, get out of here with that nonsense. Let's get into it.
Podcast, check it out.
The Joe Rogan Experience.
Train by day, Joe Rogan podcast by night, all day.
All right, we're rolling. Good to see you, sir.
Go.
Here we go. One of the things I wanted to talk to you about, I wanted to play this, but we decided we shouldn't play it because it could get copyright struck, and we don't want to get the episode. We don't want anybody to have any sort of a way to get it down.
Sure.
But it was the episode of you when you're on The View, and I think it was 2015 or 2006, like when you were running for president.
Right.
And you got introduced as our friend Donald Trump.
That's right.
Whoopi Goldberg gives you a big hug and a kiss. Joy Behar gives you a big hug. Barbara Walters gives you a big hug. They all loved you. They were all talking about how you might be conservative in your financial positions, but you're very liberal socially. They were talking about you as such a...
See, here's the thing. He's going to try and be like, oh, they were all your friends, and then you changed up on them. Like, here's the thing. We can like people, and then they show us who they are, and then we're like, oh, fuck that. You know what I mean? Like, it's not that hard to comprehend this stuff. Most of us who are older, we saw Donald Trump as this prosperous white man that is doing very well in America and all that stuff. He was in movies, Home Alone 2, Lost New York. He was in Little Giants for like half a second. He was on The Fresh Prince. You know what I mean? So we have this mindset of who we thought he was until he started showing himself. I'm lying. Jesus Christ, here we go. But we had this mindset of who he was. And then as politics happened and he ran for president, even I was like, hey, listen, he has shown us all type of rhetoric, but maybe he will be different when it actually comes down to being president. And then throughout his presidency, I wasn't super political. You know what I mean? I wasn't any of that stuff. But I was watching the news, right? And I would see things and be like, all right, man. Like, okay, he is exactly who we thought he was, right? And it's easy to see this. But I don't know. I really do want to talk to a Trump supporter. Not a Republican, but a Trump supporter. And not one that's like uneducated. You know what I mean? I want one that knows how things work. And I want them to kind of explain how these things happen. Like what it is that makes you want to support him. Because when you say things like, oh, he'll get the economy right, that's not true. We know that. Like we know that like for instance, this administration's policies they put in place, we'll start to see the fruits of what they've done maybe the first 2 years of the next president's administration. So already from 2017 and 18, that was pretty much Obama's work, right? Gas was cheaper. In my mind, I'm like, okay, gas was like three something, like low three before Trump, or even now, like it's low three, high two, maybe mid three. What are they talking about? What is the lower gas talking about? They're talking about the Rona. They're talking about the pandemic prices. And this is like, wait, you know why that is, right? Like food was cheaper. Okay, what do they mean? Like 2017, 18? They're talking about 2020. And it's like, bro, what? And it just gets to the point where I think as political streamers, political influencers, political commentators, you know, we're not even really getting into the meat and potatoes of how policy happens, what type of legislation needs to occur for these things to happen on local levels, what are the parties that are supporting certain causes. We're still on top of why Trump. And that's the part that really sucks in what I do. And I Marietta Mike, like, I'm saying the same thing. Like, even though this is my bread, like, I mean, it's not my own job, but my bread and butter, I'm like, I can't wait for this to be over too, so I can talk about how policy is making. Don't get it twisted, because I like Kamala. Don't think that I'm going to sit here and be like, she's doing great if she's not. If there are things that are poignant, that are something that we need to point out and say, hey, listen, we need to critique this, or hey, this policy isn't what you promised, I'll do that. I'm definitely not one of those, right? But we have to get past this aspect. And so when people that vote for Trump, when I see white women say Trump 2024, when I see minorities say Trump 2024, I'm like, bro, what? We just saw the clip from Madison Square Garden about a guy making jokes about Puerto Rico and it being a floating pile of trash. We saw the joke about him and his black friend cutting up watermelon for Halloween. Like, if we had that type of person on stage at the DNC or a rally, we would condemn them immediately. But there'd be no laughing. You got Rudy Giuliani saying that kids are taught at the age of 2 to kill us. Do you have a 2-year-old? Have you seen a 2-year-old? Have you seen a child? You think they're being taught these things? Like, it's disheartening. And also the other pieces of misinformation are even just coming from our side as well, where it's black men are switching sides and going to Trump. The numbers, we're still the highest voting bloc of Democratic voters. Like I understand that we want to get our clicks. I understand we want to get our traction for our videos, our articles and things like that, but it just doesn't really, it's not very conducive. And I got chat over here this time. Like, my bad. I ain't read nothing y'all been saying. I'm sorry. The racist dude, the dude who's on CNN yesterday. You know, there's a guy, he's getting backed into a corner. All of a sudden, he's like, I hope your beeper don't go off. Like, you felt comfortable enough to say that, and yet you're trying to play the victim once everybody starts coming at you. So much so they pulled him off the show. Right? They feel as though they're comfortable in their racism because they feel like if it's a hive mind and everybody agrees, it must be correct. This assault on immigrants is insane. Like, it would collapse the economy. I'm not an economist, but I do know economists that have said, if you deport all immigrants, you would collapse the economy. All of the supplies I'm looking at outside my window, they're building a Christmas thing right here. Most of those workers are immigrants. I can see that from here on the top floor. Flex. How can you see what's going on? Okay, M. Worth. How can I see what's going on in America and vote Kamala? What exactly do you mean? What's going on in America? Because I guarantee you whatever you're about to say, I can refute it with actual facts and data. Because that's what I do. You're new here. I'm sorry. You put yourself in the hot seat. You know, it's just, I understand people are frustrated. But let's talk about what people are frustrated about. And I'm all dressed up nice as opposed to an anime t-shirt or hoodie because I just came from a brunch event where we're talking about politics and everything. So let's talk about what people are mad about. You're mad that groceries cost a lot, right? Well, we have documentation from an email that went out from one of the higher ups at Kroger, which if you don't have that, that's a grocery store here in Georgia and other places, where they were saying, yeah, we're gonna charge more for these items. Inflation ain't got nothing to do with it. Inflation is at the normal amount. And so they said, well, if people gonna buy it, we're gonna sell it. So you're mad that price gouging has been happening, and you've been supporting it because you're buying items, because you need to have these things, right? The other thing you're mad about is, I don't make enough. Did your boss make enough when he bought that second yacht? Did the VP make enough when he went to vacation on Cayman Islands? Did he make enough then? You're mad about wage theft. You're mad at the wrong people. And we've been saying this to you for a while, but I understand you want to be correct, or you feel so advocating what you're saying that you feel like you're correct. But I'm here to tell you, brother, sister, you're wrong. And it's okay. It's okay to be wrong. I too was like you and wrong about things. Looking at studies, looking at data points, using my degree in marketing and my career in data analytics to understand how these different things are impacting us. There'll be no push notification for policies that are passed to help you, right? That's not gonna happen. That's not what happens. But I just want people to understand. I understand the frustration, but understand who you should be frustrated at. Go see it and then come back and say it's crazy. What happens next? She gonna pass legislation as the vice president? Like I said, ignorance is abundant. And I can excuse it until the information is presented to you. And once you have new information, if you still... And I don't mean ignorant in a bad way. I mean, I understand it's taken typically as a bad way. But what I'm saying is, hey man, the information's all around you. Learn it. So, like I said, the point of today is to watch the Joe Rogan Experience and just talk about it. We're going to comment throughout. I wanted to do like that stream where I could have guests. But, you know, we'll see. We'll see.
Favorable light. The audience was cheering. And then you actually started winning in the polls, and then the machine started working towards you.
Yeah.
But there's probably no one in history that I've ever seen that's been attacked the way you've been attacked, and the way they've done it, so coordinated.
Already I don't like this. Already I don't like this. People didn't just come out and just attack him for no reason. That's the part I don't understand. And this is why I say these are entertainment people. These aren't journalists. These aren't fact-driven analysts. These are entertainment people. You think people just started attacking Trump just because? He had cases out against him. He had allegations out against him, terrible allegations. We had audio of him saying crazy stuff. Like yesterday, we found out he gave a COVID test to Russia, and Russia was like, "Don't tell nobody you gave this to us." And he was like, "I don't care." And like, no. Like, you probably shouldn't tell people you gave us this stuff. I didn't know that. And then I learned it. Like, I hate how they're trying to make it seem like everybody ganged up on Trump. That didn't happen. That's just not what happened. Things. He did inflammatory things. The Muslim ban, how he handled the hurricane that happened in Puerto Rico. All these things that have happened. And I'm missing a bunch. And so when I see people support him, if you like live in a small town, cool. You don't know no better. I'm sorry. You just don't. It's okay. Get out your small town and look at the world. If you are a person that's educated and you support him, I guarantee you the information you know is not correct. It's just not. They found a new N-word, by the way. They call it low IQ. They're telling the person, let's see, where did Kamala Harris go to college? I know she went to Howard. We all know this. But where did she go to college? Where did she get her stuff? Like, what is the low IQ part? Where's the low IQ? Where is that at? You see what I'm saying? Like, that's the new N-word for them. And I hope, let me see if I can find one. I hope I can find a compilation of low IQ Kamala. You know, somebody did it.
At that moment, it's going to be pretty tough for them 10 days from now to look
in the eye to America with a straight face, it's going to be pretty hard to look at us and say, you know what? Kamala Harris, she got 85 million votes because she's just so impressive. As the first Samoan, Malaysian, low IQ, former California prosecutor ever to be elected.
Low IQ. I wish somebody had done like a compilation of it, because I was gonna use that for a video today. That's just what it is, though. This is what this new N-word. She's a low IQ individual. Hold up. Am I tripping? Is that my stuff messing up? Hold on a second. Let me make sure. Cause real talk, I could just go, okay, let's do this. So I'm seeing some people saying that it's not coming through. I'm gonna go on my phone. And just talk, shoot the breeze. Let's see. Is anybody else having problems seeing the live? Is TikTok speaking? Hold on. Hold up. Let's see something here. Can people hear me? No? Oh, wow. It went black. Hello? That's crazy.